guys, Sid here. On this channel, we'll be diving into and discussing the invisible, often multi-generational chains that are holding us back and how to break free of the tethers that are preventing us from being our perfectly authentic selves. I know for a fact that our mental and spiritual health is just as important as our physical health as a personal trainer, and that all three go hand in hand. So if you're not 100% physically healthy, you most likely won't be mentally and or spiritually healthy either, and vice versa. So let's talk about childhood trauma.
What the hell is even that?
Childhood trauma is a deeply distressing event experienced by a child that overwhelms their ability to cope and makes them feel unsafe. It can stem from a single event or from repeated exposure to adversity, such as witnessing and or experiencing abuse, neglect, accidents, and or violence.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
These events can have lasting negative impacts on a child's mental, physical, and social well-being due to their vulnerability during development. So why are we so easily traumatized as children? Well, for one, our brains are still developing. So we don't have any mature reasoning. We're not able to understand context.
Jonathan just got an awesome face paint job. What do you think?
I like turtles.
So say if you had a need for connection and you went to your mom because your mom is responsible for that need to be met, and she was stressed out and overwhelmed, and she snapped at you, told you to basically
Shut the hell up! Shut up! Shut up!
not bother her in that moment. As a child, you wouldn't be able to reason that, oh, she's just busy right now, she's overwhelmed, she didn't mean that I was bothering her personally. We as children fail to be able to see the nuance behind situations such as these, which ties into the accidental nature of a lot of these traumatic experiences. We don't have any emotional regulation skills as kids, and our brain is much more plastic to stress, which means that parts of our brain that are responsible for calming fear and handling stressful situations are still developing. So overwhelming situations leave much deeper marks on us than they would in our adult stages of life. Kids rely solely on adults for their safety, and so if their safety net is unpredictable, frightening, or neglectful, then they are not safe. And any threat to survival, real or not, it has a big impact. Kids obviously have limited control over these situations. They can't just simply leave, or no one can pick and choose who their caregivers are or the environment they grow up in.
I wish for a new mommy.
And kids can't usually set boundaries. This feeling of being trapped definitely amplifies the trauma. Limited language.
Have you ever had a dream that you once?
Kids often don't know how to explain what happened or how to ask for help, and they have no outlet. So these experiences are stored in the body and in the nervous system, which makes processing them that much harder. And kids take things personally. Kids are egocentric by default. Everything is personal for them. It is more likely that they'll develop shame, which definitely prevents a neutral viewpoint of the situation. And lastly, kids have little to no coping skills, so they use survival strategies instead, like shutting down, disassociating, becoming overly compliant, or rebelling. So how does this affect us as adults? The emotional and psychological impact it has on us is that we develop more anxiety and fear, depression, perhaps low self-esteem, also maybe PTSD in the future. For our brains and nervous systems, we are more likely to develop overactive stress responses, and we have more difficulty regulating our emotions. We are much more likely to develop insecure attachments and to repeat unhealthy patterns, which links back into having insecure attachments because of our behavior and how that attracts people who are of the same nature and have the ability to trigger us the most. We're much more likely to develop chronic illnesses and have disturbed sleep patterns.
Hello?
And of course, there's also much more risk of having and developing an addiction. So what does childhood trauma look like? There's the obvious abuse, but there's also the abuse that gets swept under the rug, in my opinion, like the physical abuse, the spankings that are, I'd say, pretty prevalent in American culture.
I like it, cut G.
Getting popped in the mouth is a thing that a lot of us can relate to and is pretty normalized, but it's still physical abuse. Then there's the emotional and verbal abuse. So like the yelling, the criticism, the humiliation, the threats like,
Bitch, I hope the fuck you do. You'll be a dead son of a bitch, I tell you that.
stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about. The unpredictability. So if you ever had to walk on eggshells around a parent because you never knew if today was a good day and everybody was all happy and smiles, or if said parent was not having a good day and was going to let it out on the family. The fact that there was no safe space for emotions to be felt, which is severely downplayed in my opinion, not really understood how much of an impact that can make on a growing human being. And of course, there's the modeled abuse. So the domestic violence and abuse between parents or substance abuse in the environment, which of course ties back to the emotional and physical abuse that children tend to experience with parents who model this behavior because these parents have set behavioral patterns, which is in turn their own trauma that they have not healed from. So does everybody have childhood trauma? Well, the word trauma is a pretty broad term. Everyone reacts differently to ACEs, is what they call it, which is adverse childhood experiences. So it really depends on who is doing the traumatizing. So if it's a caregiver, it's definitely much more impactful than if it was, say, for instance, a teacher. And how strong the support system is in a child's life. A strong support system is much more likely to offset the negative impact that traumatic experiences have on us. If we don't have good support systems, we're much more likely to be traumatized. About 60 to 70% of adults have experienced at least one adverse childhood experience in their lifetime. That's a lot of people. So almost everybody has had at least one traumatic experience as a child. What makes it a trauma really depends on the resources that we are exposed to. Of course, there's multi-generational trauma as well. These things actually get passed down through our genes.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring.
You still hold that within your body, within your nervous system, even if you had a really good support system. Sometimes these things can linger from previous generations, things you don't even have any memory of or know of. And of course, previously traumatized children are much more likely to re-experience traumatic experiences simply due to their skewed view of reality. They accept something as normal or as the truth. And so they are much more likely to find themselves in situations that are similar to what they have experienced in the past. So what can we do about it? Awareness is the first step. If you don't know you have a problem, how are you going to fix it? Then comes the understanding. I feel like you don't have to go through this step. I feel like it's just a nice bonus to be able to understand the why behind it, because it's just a human thing to want to understand everything, but it is not essential to the actual healing part. Getting help is definitely a big one. Don't try to do it all alone. We are put on this earth with family, with friends for a reason. Nobody can do everything by themselves, and you're not weak if you ask for help. That is a strength, and that is a skill that you can learn to develop. Going to therapy, that's an obvious one. Talking to a safe person, so somebody that you know won't judge you or won't make you feel judged, someone that can just listen and maybe also relate.
I do that.
Different perspectives are always a good thing. They can always broaden your view and make you see just a little bit more of the big picture. Informing yourself, obviously, is of course the big one, which ties into therapy, talking to someone and not doing it alone. But also with things like this video. And just by watching this, you're already on a really good path. So keep going. And the last step is, of course, actually healing. Healing your childhood trauma will only fully come through feeling the emotions that tie you to the adverse childhood experience that traumatized you. Abstract logical thinking begins at ages 12 and up. And this took me 20 plus years to realize. So thinking is only going to get you so far. This wound is emotional. It's not logical. That's why you can't think yourself out of anxiety. You can't think yourself out of depression. You have to feel yourself out of it. In the end, the body keeps the score.
What the
I understood that reference.
Go to the source. And it all started with emotions. So we can't change the past, but we can very well change our present and our futures. These traumas that we experience are all learning experiences. We can grow from this. These are all opportunities for you to level up. And the crazy thing is, your growth doesn't just affect you, it affects everybody around you as well. It's not just you leveling up, you're changing the whole playing field. The people around you will take notice because you will glow different when you've tapped into your authenticity. But to do that, we have to heal first.